You don't annihilate your family and throw them away like garbage.
What it looks like is that you found a new life, and the only way to get that new life was to get rid of the old life.
I cheated on her. Shanann accused me of it. I denied it.
Point, we have been able to recover a body that we're quite certain is Shanann Watts' body. We have strong reason to believe that we know where the bodies of the children are, and recovery efforts are in process on that.
So, it was completely clear that you were not honest during the testing. I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
You don't annihilate your family and throw them away like garbage.
I met my Chris. I met my husband now, and he's been the best thing, besides my children, that has ever happened to me.
Chris and Shanann Watts seem to be happily married. Everyone who knew them thought they were a perfect couple. They were a family of 4 with a new addition on its way. It wasn't until Chris started a secret love affair with a co-worker that all hell would break loose. The first record of Chris and Nikki corresponding was on June 5th. Nikki sent an email to a group of workers at Anadarko regarding their app access. Chris replied with, "Thanks, Nikki. Have a great rest of your day." Chris did not have to respond to this email. I doubt any of the other guys did. This was probably Chris's way of letting Nikki know that he wanted to talk with her one-on-one. Thoughts of a fling with Nikki were already on his mind when Shanann posted this video only 1 week later.
I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. They just said the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just the test.
That's awesome. Guess when you want to, it happens.
The very next day, on June 12th, she sent Chris an email thanking him for being honest with her. This means she spoke with him that morning and most likely saw Shanann's "Oops, we did it again" video. Most people do not believe her claims of not knowing that Shanann was pregnant. Chris responds by telling Nikki that lying only complicates things. He tells her she's absolutely stunning and an amazing person and says he hopes to continue getting to know her. Nikki then says that she is looking to build something similar to what Chris has with his wife and kids, but that they should keep their friendship at work. In her next statement, she contradicts herself because she says, "By the way, I keep our conversations between us." She should have just said, "Forget everything that I just said. I'm willing to keep this a secret and keep talking to you." The last email exchange was at the end of the workday on June 12th, where Chris tells Nikki that there's no need to worry. Any conversation will stay between them, and he gives her his work phone number. 2 days later, on June 14th, Chris enters Nikki's contact information into his phone. On the very same day, Shanann recorded little Bella singing "My Daddy is a Hero."
My daddy is a hero, you're a hero, blue and blue. My daddy, I love you.
June 17th, only 3 days later, it was Father's Day, and Shanann posted on Facebook about how blessed they were to have him and what an incredible dad he was. On June 19th, Shanann shared her first ultrasound picture of baby Nico, calling Chris the best dad they could ask for. 3 days later, on the 22nd, they left for their trip to San Diego. Chris later said that he hated that trip because his mind was already flooded with thoughts of Nikki Kessinger. Shanann never suspected that Chris would ever cheat on her. She planned to fly to North Carolina to spend 5 weeks with her family. This time away would give her husband the opportunity to spend more time with Nikki and give him a taste of a bachelor lifestyle. Little did Shanann know that while she was away on vacation, hoping that her husband was at home missing her, Chris Watts would use this time to start an affair with Nicole Kessinger. He wasn't missing his wife. He wasn't even missing his children. He wasn't missing his life as a family man at all. As Chris and Nikki grew closer, Shanann could feel her husband becoming more and more distant. Through the whole month of July, Chris was spending all of his free time with Nikki. He was completely ignoring his calls and texts from his wife. On July 24th, knowing Chris would soon join his family in North Carolina, Nikki Googled, "Man I'm having an affair with says he'll leave his wife," which would have looked something like this, with signs of whether or not he is likely to leave his wife for his mistress. On July 25th, Chris Googled topics related to when to say I love you and how it feels. He obviously knew it was too soon to say it, but both Chris and Nicole admitted that they did say I love you to each other. Chris also Googled sand dunes weather, and in between calls from his wife and his mistress, Nikki leaves this creepy voicemail.
Hi. It's me. I guess just call me back when you have a chance. Bye. Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi. Call me back. Bye.
It's no surprise that geologist Nikki Kessinger would want to sandboard at the tallest sand dunes in North America that was established as a national monument in 1932 to protect it from gold mining and to preserve its natural beauty. They then drove only a few miles south to get to the Zapata Falls recreational area, where they would hike about a half a mile to see a 30-foot hidden waterfall. This involves wading through creek water, climbing over slick boulders, and walking through a small cave. This is also where Nikki Kessinger would get to have something with Chris Watts that she never thought she could have. She worried she would never have any first with Chris, since he had, quote, been there, done that. Nikki would get the privilege of experiencing Chris's very first and only time camping. Chris Watts would later call this weekend spent away with Nikki a turning point in their relationship. From this point on, they had become inseparable, and Chris stated he never even spent one night at home the entire 4 weeks that his wife and children were gone. On July 31st, only 2 days after Chris and Nikki's camping trip, Chris flies to North Carolina to join his family for the last week of their vacation. Their reunion did not appear to be a happy one. In Shanann's text messages, she tells her friend, Chris has changed. She says, I don't know who he is. She says Chris is cold and she has no idea what happened. Even though Nikki told Chris to take this time to try to heal things with his wife, when he texted to tell her that he couldn't talk, she asked, why are you with her? So much for working on your marriage. In the early month of August, Nikki spent hours looking at wedding dresses, Googling Chris and Shanann's Facebook accounts, and topics related to marrying your mistress. Nikki was giving Chris mixed signals, and he continued to be distant with his wife.
Here on NBC Charlotte, a North Carolina mother taking these family vacation photos in Myrtle Beach, capturing Shanann Watts and her 2 daughters.
Michelle Greer and her husband took their 3 sons to Myrtle Beach this month, and that's where they met the Watts family, in line with the kids for the bungee trampolines. Michelle and Shanann hit it off right away.
She told me she was expecting, so she was very happy she was expecting.
She says Chris, on the other hand,
he didn't engage in conversation at all. He was just kind of standing there.
The woman who took these pictures says she spoke with Shanann while their children played and recalls Chris acting strange.
After returning home to Colorado, Shanann had to leave again for a work trip to Arizona. She was still confused as to why Chris was so distant, so she wrote him a letter explaining how much she loved him and missed him, and letting him know that she was willing to fight for their marriage. Shanann had no idea that the Chris Watts that she married was long gone. In just a few short weeks, Chris Watts had changed drastically from the sweet, loving husband and father that everyone thought that he was. It seemed so easy for another woman to step in and so quickly get a man to shift his attention so far away from his wife and children and onto her. Unfortunately, this happens all the time. Statistically, 1 in 5 Americans have admitted to being unfaithful in their marriages. After a few years of marriage, a husband has lots of experiences with his wife. They spend every day together. He knows her habits, and most of her behavior is predictable and not very exciting anymore. His responses to her may lack enthusiasm, and he may start to see her as less valuable. In contrast, a woman he meets at work seems far more interesting. He hasn't known her long, so she is less predictable and more exciting. Since his interest in her was reciprocated, she became his mistress, and early on in the relationship, he saw her as more valuable to him than his wife. Mistresses are typically very jealous. She knows he is going home to another woman. She knows he has another life at home that she will never be a part of. The wife essentially has everything that she wants. She feels envious that her lover's relationship with his wife is not a secret to the world like hers is. As the passion of the love affair grows, he begins thinking of leaving his wife for his mistress. Making the decision to divorce would cause him to have to confront issues that would likely arise in a divorce. This would affect his finances, his standing with friends and in the community, his relationships, and completely disrupt his comfortable life. Most men, even if they are completely enthralled by their mistresses, would give up their relationship with their mistress rather than sacrifice their family. Chris Watts did not. Chris Watts did the unthinkable. He very literally sacrificed his family, his wife, his 2 daughters, and his unborn son, so that he wouldn't have to deal with the consequences and the negative effects of a divorce, and he could exchange his family life for a life with his mistress, Nicole Kessinger.
This man has a gorgeous house. He has beautiful babies. He has a beautiful wife. He has an awesome job. Like, why would he want to leave this?
You obviously are a really bad life.